Hey everyone, welcome back to Contracted and Committed. This is episode 4, our travel fights. What we've learned and what we'll still mess up.
And in this one, we're getting real about the travel fights that have tested our patience and our marriage. From GPS disputes to packing disagreements.
Honestly, travel can bring out the best and sometimes the worst in us. And we've had our share of disagreements, but we've also learned a lot along the way.
That's right. So in this episode, we're diving into those real travel moments, sharing what we've learned and what we still mess up, and talking about how travel challenges can actually bring you closer, or, make you want to throw the GPS out the window.
Let's get into it.
So I think first we should talk about how we don't actually fight, but we just have disagreements and how that kind of looks in our relationship.
I mean, what do you classify as a fight? Is it just
A disagreement.
just a disagreement?
Yeah.
So then I'd say they're fights then.
Yeah, but I feel like when people think of a fight, they think of physical.
Fisticuffs?
Yeah.
Putting up your dukes. Take you out in the backyard, boxing gloves, see
Yeah,
who wins.
Or raised voices and not coming to a resolution, which I feel just want to preference. I think that the best way in a healthy relationship is to have just disagreements and communicate and talk them out and not actually yell and scream and stuff. So that's how our disagreements or fights, if you will, kind of look. They're just disagreements and talking points, and sometimes you ask for space, and that's a good thing to be like, hey, let's talk about this later, or let's go our own separate way for a little bit.
Or give me some time to think about it. Or
Yeah.
let's all take a breath real quick before we have a real argument or anything like that.
A real fight.
Yeah, exactly.
A real...
Sometimes it's hard to get away from each other, especially if we're in the car.
Yes, that is true.
And probably one of the biggest things we fight about is how we like to communicate during travels and when people are driving.
When I'm driving, I like to know, step by step, okay, you have 25 miles on this road. Okay, now you have 15 miles. Reminders of, incremental reminders. Or for you, you're stop telling me I have 1 mile. Stop telling me I have 0.5 miles. I'm yeah, but you need to turn.
That's when the frustrating part gets in, when it's oh, there's 3 miles to go. It's okay, thanks for letting me know. Oh, there's 2.5 miles to go. It's okay, thank you for letting me know. 2 miles, and I was okay, relax. It's I understand the concept here. Let me know when I'm half a mile or when I need to be in the right lane or something like that.
Yeah.
It's my biggest thing.
I don't do it. I feel that was really early on in our relationship. I would do that because that's how I like
To
somebody.
communicate someone directing you.
Yeah. But now I don't do that as much. I'm okay, you have a mile. And you're oh, shoot, I got to get over. I'm yep.
Yep. And we figure it out every time.
And
when in doubt, you go by the exit and you just turn around.
Yeah. You're a lot better at just doing that more quickly than I am. Or being comfortable in larger cities and areas to drive. And
as I am typically the main driver of our household.
Yes, you are.
I try to do the best I can to keep us safe, at least. So, yeah, but there is some times where it's I don't need a second driver in the car with me. If you want to drive, you can just grab the wheel. That's probably one of my biggest, not necessarily GPS fights, but
car
backseat driving.
Yeah, I'm really
fights,
bad at
and
it.
it's are you going to turn here? Because there's been times when you've been wrong. And then that gets scary because I trust your word. It's oh, I can go right on red here. But there is a car actively coming through.
Well, I couldn't see it.
That's the problem. And that's what makes me frustrated.
Yeah, I have been better about that too. That also has been earlier
I think
on.
especially in the most recent one where it was hey, you can go right on red. And I'm okay. But then there was a car coming through that crosswalk.
Road.
Or crossways, whatever.
Yeah.
The light. And we could have very much gotten hit if I didn't recheck after I had already started going.
Yeah.
So since then you've been great.
Yeah, because I was oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oops.
oh, that's a death on Tristan's end because the car was coming to my side. I was
ooh,
is this
maybe
a planned
it was planned.
Yeah.
I'm Izzy, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hard to disagree and have fights when in the car because you don't want to get overheated and
It can already sometimes be a stressful situation when driving.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times you don't get heated during the easy parts of the drive. It's always the, oh, we're like traveling through Atlanta and we don't know. Do we need exit 51 A, B, C, D, E, F? And it's like, I don't know. We're trying to figure it out. And those are the moments where it's like, we can't get heated. We got to figure it out together. And, if we
Yeah.
miss it, we'll come back to it and talk about it later.
But that going back to like the disagreement of GPS stuff, you've been better too. But sometimes you're just like on your phone. I'm like, Tristan, how many miles do I have? And you're like, oh, let me look. And I'm just like, come on.
It's because I don't get so often to be the passenger person that I'm just like, oh, this is kind of nice. I just go for a ride and I end up at my destination. This is great. Is this what you feel like all the time?
No, I'm stressed.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I kind of feel like that sometimes. Okay, for today's couple check-in, the question is, do you remember a time when we learned something major about each other while traveling?
Something major about each other while traveling.
Yeah.
Nah, I guess I've learned how little you actually need things. Because there's a lot of times in other relationships that I've seen that it's just like,
I know where you're going with this.
some girls they can need a lot, where it's like, yeah, they need the $150 swimsuit, they need the coffee every day, they need
The Starbucks every day, you mean?
the Starbucks every day, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like that can be a lot. And I've learned that I got very lucky that you're relatively minimalist with all those things.
Yeah. You're talking about like getting the brows done and getting the nails done and getting facials and going to the spa and getting your hair colored and all that. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That some girls go through, which is great. Like, go treat yourself. And like, I do treat myself once in a while. Like, I'll do things. One of my 2025 little goals that I have is to do a quarterly like treatment spa thing, but I wanted to do things that were like out of the box. So one of the first ones I did was float pods. Tristan and I did it together.
Sensory deprivation tank.
Yeah, it was terrible. Hated it. Would not recommend.
Yeah, it was a little weird. I don't know. It's just slightly uncomfortable the whole time. My back or my neck started hurting after a little while because you just like.
Yeah, mine
I think it's
too.
like supported there because you're just kind of head is floating above water
floating,
the whole time.
Yeah. And then parts of your body were like outside of the water in the cold air, and it's like, okay, this is weird. That's how I felt. But
yeah, it was a little odd for sure.
And we only did the 30 minutes
so
and I was sitting.
Some people are in there for an hour, and I'm just like, good lord, it's like I'm ready to be done and get out after 15.
Yeah, I was sitting there and I was like, is the time done yet?
I was like, can I get out and like watch some TikToks or something? What's going on here?
So that's something you learn though, is that I don't need a lot of stuff. Okay, what has I learned? Tristan has vocal stemming. Yeah, I think the biggest thing I have learned since traveling and being with you is I think
just talk to myself and mumble.
I think you have
ADD
or ADHD. Yes, you're just a lot.
Sometimes, yeah.
And I think I see it more because you don't get outlets with your friends as much.
Yeah.
I think
since we've
that's
been here in
why
Jacksonville,
traveling.
It's like I ain't got no one close to me that I can just be real weird with.
Yeah, to be real weird with is a great way to put it. Sure. In addition, once we get to a place, or before even, / when we're getting to a place, the packing is also kind of not a huge, but has been like an ongoing disagreement. But I feel like we kind of just drop it at this point because we're not going to change our ways.
Yeah.
About packing.
That's something about fights. Sometimes you don't actually even come to a conclusion. Sometimes
No.
you just got to let it be what it is and understand it and accept that.
And sometimes we like to have disagreements. I'm like, what are we even like disagreeing about? Like, I don't even remember. And that's when you know it's not that deep. Like, there's no point in disagreeing at that point. And I have heard that the disagreements that you have them like over and over again. Or there's always like one main disagreement in relationship that you have to like overcome because it always like comes back up. And I don't actually do it. We probably have one, but I don't know what it is.
I don't know, backseat driving?
No, like it's like a deeper rooted one for sure.
Yeah, I don't know, negativity.
Probably.
Probably that one, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm negative Nancy. But anyways,
Sometimes.
going back to packing disagreements.
Yes. We both have like different ideas of what we want to pack and how we want to pack it and when we should start packing these things, which might be one of the biggest things. Because, I mean, if we're leaving in 3 weeks, I don't want to start packing all our stuff by then and just be like scrounging through our stuff to unpack some stuff if we actually need to use it again. And
I just like to see it being packed to make sure it all fits. You know what I mean?
see, my thought is like, we got it down here.
I know.
I assume we can get it back because it's,
Yeah,
in this case, for our current one, we actually have a whole extra car to bring it back in.
Yeah, because we only took one car down,
Yeah.
but now we're driving both cars back, which will be different from what we normally have done. I guess
True.
we drove to Indiana.
Yeah, but those
with
are much
2
shorter
cars.
drives. This is
Yeah.
kind of like the longest drive
It's like
we'd have separate.
15 hours max, probably.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Hopefully
You
that
ready for
goes
that?
well.
15 hours of driving, Kelsey?
I think so. It's the peeing
Yeah.
that's hard.
Stopping for rest breaks all the time.
Yeah.
Just gotta monitor the liquid intake.
I need just a catheter. I just need to hook myself up to a catheter and be like, hey, I'm good.
You know
I
what?
can
As
drink
long as I
all-
don't have to see it, smell it, or hear about it.
Yeah, you're in
Go
a
for
different
it.
car. You're
Yeah.
fine. You're fine. I don't actually want to do that. That sounds not fun.
Mm-hmm.
But that is really difficult for me, the whole peeing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I gotta stop again. I gotta go to the bathroom. And I hate stopping so much because I just want to get there.
And then some packing things that you probably don't like is I have like certain necessities Tristan
Yeah,
kind of
and they're
needs in my daily
huge.
life.
They
They're
take
not
up a-
all huge.
They take up a lot of space.
One thing is huge. It's just my chair.
Yeah.
And because I spend so much time in my chair for work and then after work activities, it's like, okay, I need a comfortable chair or else I will hurt myself. Because have you seen that dingy little chair in our current office?
Yeah.
Imagine I sit in that for 10 months.
You'd have
I would have a broken back.
No, I was going to say a bony ass.
I already do. That's not helping.
Yeah, I sit in that when we were playing our co-op games, and I'm struggling after like an hour.
Now imagine being in it for 8.
I know.
So
Your
that's
chair.
why I fight for the chair.
I know your chair is kind of getting a little. It's like
Ratty.
ratty. Yeah. I feel like those chairs don't last very long.
3 years at a time. This one I bought used though, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then also all of your monitors. I understand like
3. Yeah, it's
you have
3
three
actually.
monitors for your job and a big gaming computer chair.
2 for work, 2 for pleasure.
Yeah. Why do you need 2 for each? Why can't you just have 1 for each?
Because sometimes you want to just be listening to music on one, hanging out, gaming on
It's
the
called
other.
minimizing.
Nah, it doesn't make no sense.
It
Maybe you can fit them,
doesn't.
why not bring them?
They're necessary, I guess, but they do take up a lot of space. And like the monitors, it's like, okay, now we gotta wrap them up a little bit.
And some blankets. Yeah,
we
or
just
throw
use
them on
blankets.
top, really.
Yeah. And then another, you bring a rice cooker, which isn't bad because we eat a lot of rice in a lot of places.
We use it 2 times a day at least.
Yeah, at least, yeah. It's a small one, which is nice too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I bring him a coffee maker, but it's tiny. It's like a iced coffee that just kind of spins and seeps
Yeah.
with water. So that's pretty.
Those are kind of our
Easy.
little essentials that we go from place to place with, really.
Yeah.
We
What
don't have
other
really too many
things?
essentials other than, like, clothes and those.
Yeah, I was trying to think. A vacuum. That's one thing we do bring.
The vacuum. Because a lot of places, they have a vacuum, but they're
it's
really
shitty.
awful. Almost
Yeah.
every single time we've been to a new place. And we like to keep our house decently clean, like once a week at least. We bring our own vacuum.
Yeah.
We bought a nice one, and we bring it along with us.
Yeah, it's
We
like a
make-
Shark.
Yeah, it's one of the newer Shark... Or Dyson?
I don't know. It's one,
It's one of the newer
those.
models of whatever that is.
It's like the long
Easy
handle.
to travel with, yep.
Yeah, small one.
Yeah.
And then we also we got a
Roomba?
Roomba. Yeah.
Mhm.
For our wedding.
Mhm.
And my sister-in-law told me we had to bring it. But I guess she was
I like it.
No, but she was joking, she said. I was like, well, we brought it because you told us we better bring it and use it. But we have been using that occasionally. It's good
It
for, like...
picks up a surprising amount of things.
yeah.
Every time I empty it, I'm like, really? This much? I swear we clean. Like.
Yeah, we vacuum weekly.
Mhm.
And then
At
spot,
least.
spot vacuum if, like, Izzy came in with some
Mhm.
dirt or something.
And then run the Shark probably at least 2 times a week.
Yeah,
is
and it
about how much.
picks up a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
I think it's because Izzy brings in a lot of stuff from the backyard.
Yeah, we
That-
don't see.
Yeah. Especially when we have a fenced-in backyard in this one, which has been really nice for Izzy. Just being able to let her back there and, like,
roam.
Just let her roam for a little bit and be outside
She gets
versus
in
being
trouble
chained
though
up.
sometimes.
But yeah, she'll get into some dirt.
She just
bugs.
rolls in it, and it's like, is he? Now we have to give you a bath, and it's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But packing disagreements, I like to be as light as possible.
I have some necessities.
Yeah, my I don't have like anything. I'm trying to think, looking around. There's nothing that I can think of that is like huge.
Really a necessity for you? No.
Well, like necessities like laptop, that
Yeah.
type of stuff, but all my stuff is compactable. I don't.
Very true.
I feel like maybe I have more clothes than you just because I don't know.
Even your clothes, though, are less material and smaller, so those are also easier to pack than my clothes. But when we go south, what's nice is we don't have to pack like coats and stuff like that, because those will be the big space takers. Yeah. When I think about the tubs that we have all our stuff stored in right now, it's like we have just like a big tub of coats, and it's only like 10 coats.
Like sweatshirts and coats, yeah. Yeah, when we go back to Michigan, I do want to like go through our clothes and I'm going to be in a cleaning mood.
Yeah. Hey, that's another thing I think we fight about is I don't want to have to go through all our stuff every single time we come back to Michigan.
I know, but we need to get the coats out.
We don't need them. It's June. We can get them later. We're in Michigan.
Eventually. I know we are, but I'm working.
Well, weekends are time off.
I just really don't remember what clothes I have, and I like to open it, and it feels like a big present. I just open it, and I'm like, oh, piece of candy, you know? Because I don't remember what clothes I have there, because we've been living with, like, the clothes here that aren't very much.
True. You just kind of repeat the same clothes over and over again. If you see us throughout the week, it will be the same clothes throughout the same week. If you look at us Monday one week, we're going to have the same stuff on Monday the next week.
Pretty much. I try to switch it up, but my clinical clothes are getting a little bit worn out, so I'm going to, when we go back to our next clinic contract, I'll probably get some new ones. Some more disagreements that we have. A huge one is that Tristan doesn't like that I go to the bathroom with the door open.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. There's a door on bathrooms for a reason.
Yeah, but it's like, whatever. I have to pee sometimes really quick. It's just like,
you
why?
can still reach the door from the toilet. It doesn't make no sense.
I don't know. I just grew up and didn't close
You didn't close doors in your house when you were peeing?
Not all the time.
That's crazy work.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to smell it. I don't want to see it. It's just terrible.
You don't smell it and you don't see it. You just
you're not the one passing by the door when these things
happen.
happen.
Oh my gosh, that's disgusting.
That's what I'm saying. See, that's the problem.
Yeah, well, when you pee and the door's closed, I still hear it from like
still better than
2
open.
rooms away.
Still better than open.
Another thing that we kind of have disagreements about is when I come home, Tristan's just a lot to handle sometimes because I've been like communicating to children and being like crazy peppy and a lot of energy, and I just want to come home and like
you run out of some of that social energy,
unplug for a little bit.
The work from home life, there's days when it's like I don't talk to anybody and it's kind of sad, and I'm just like, oh, my one person I can talk to doesn't even want to talk to me. What do I do?
It's just like I need some time to just like decompress. But there's some days I don't talk to a lot of people. Like sometimes, like at the school base that I'm at, I don't always see coworkers, you know? So those days I'm more likely to be like, okay, let's talk and whatever.
You do a pretty good job of communicating to me about like, hey, you're being a lot right now. Like I need you to go like different room and figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's not diagnosed, but I definitely think he has ADHD.
Nah.
Or something, or ADD, I don't know, but he's a lot sometimes, and
depends on the day, you know. Some days when I can't get that energy out, I need an outlet, which is why I think I like golfing and sports.
Your outlet is vocal stemming.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it is. That's really hard and a disagreement. Not disagreement, but just like a challenge.
Well, you better thank Mason for letting me get all my vocal stems during the day, because he's my work from home friend.
Yeah.
And we can talk all day with each other. Even though we don't work together, I call him my coworker.
Yeah. What else have we had disagreements on? Or
those are probably the biggest ones that we have like constant,
so
not like fights over, but at least discussions about.
Yeah.
It might be like a every month thing sometimes, or not once necessarily all of them every month, but like something every month.
Yeah. Hey, stop backseat driving. What else was there?
Packing. maybe like
But
planning. Oh my
it's just
gosh, I just
packing
thought of
is just
another one that I get really frustrated about.
Oh my gosh, they're
Is the
all
calendar.
they're all
The-
about me.
You fit 3 months on the same calendar and you're erasing days that haven't happened yet. It's like,
Yeah.
how am I supposed to know that there's nothing going on those days? Even nothing going on those days is important for me to know. For when you question me, I need to know these things. Because when I get interrogated, I need to know what I should be able to say.
I kept tomorrow on there.
Oh, that's nice.
Because
You
it
kept
has
tomorrow?
Yeah, because it's Izzy's vet appointment on it.
Because we haven't had it yet, and
Yeah.
it should be kept on there.
But Saturday, Sunday's taken off.
Why?
Because nothing's on there.
It doesn't make sense.
Because I'm ready.
This is why it's confusing.
Yeah. I think overall, just like when things happen, planning and stuff is a big one. And then I guess we can say the peeing one isn't that big of a one.
No.
It's just something silly.
Little annoyances here and there.
Yeah, but I closed the door now.
Yeah, you do great now. I'm happy.
A lot of them are just about me and things that I do bad.
The GPS stuff was about me too. I do bad things too. You just focus too much on yourself.
Yeah, for sure. But he says negativity is a big one too. I used to be really negative, and I still am a little bit. I feel like
this year you've been much better. You've worked very hard on it, and I've noticed quite a bit difference. I think you've just kind of like I guess I can't say exactly what you've done, but I think you've just kind of focused on it more and have started recognizing when you're kind of spiraling into some negativity.
Yeah, I am
that kind of pulls you out.
What is it called? I catastrophize a lot, and that's what like the spiraling he's talking about is. But yeah, one of my goals for this year, 2025, was to not be anxious, anxiety ridden type stuff, because that kind of like stems the negativity. I think all of those kind of go along together with me. They feed
off each other. Yeah, is how I see it.
So I've been a lot better recently, though, with like ending this contract, starting a new contract. I feel like it's been a little bit harder to.
It's always those like higher pressure times that I think those kind of come out. You've really buckled down, I think, and have been better though.
Thanks, babe. I'm trying.
Yeah.
It's really hard right now though when we're so close and there's a lot of moving pieces, and I don't want to forget something or not be perfect. Which I'm not perfect, but that's where the negativity starts. And
blame dance.
I don't know what it is.
I'll blame dance.
Okay, blame dance. Sure. I don't think it's dance, but the biggest thing that I thought of this year was just not to give things so much weight in your life, and I think that really helped me like let go. Like, why am I putting so much weight on this little mistake I made? Or why am I putting so much weight on this one little thing that doesn't matter?
People won't remember it.
Yeah.
It's like it's going to be a week away, and then nobody will remember. It'll be 2 weeks, and nobody but you will still remember. A month later, still nobody's going to think about it ever. So it's like, why give it so much weight and allow you to be so negative and harmful to yourself?
Right.
Like, mentally, that you don't need to. So you just kind of move on from it, and that's a very good philosophy to have, and I'm glad you picked it up.
Yeah, it's not even like all the time thinking about or all surrounded by me making a mistake though. It's just sometimes it's like for work, for instance, doing everything and being 110%, and it's like, no, it's not that deep. Like like it's okay.
Some days your 110% might only be your 70%.
Right, yeah. And
so
just like
keep that in mind.
Not being mad about it or irritate at yourself, you know, and be like, it's not that deep, that's not gonna reflect, you know, and it's kind of like progression isn't always linear. So I don't know, that's just a lot about that.
Travel can be exhausting physically and mentally. If you're starting to feel that tension build up, try a simple relaxation technique like deep breathing or a quick stretch to reset. Taking just a few minutes for yourself can help you avoid blow-ups when stress starts to pile up.
And don't forget to stay active. Whether it's walking to your next destination, doing a quick hotel room workout, or finding a local gym, keeping your body moving can reduce stress and make it easier to handle any bumps in the road, literally and figuratively. The biggest things we've learned, though, from all the disagreements is, once again, communication.
Whoa, what a theme. It feels like it's coming up often.
Because it's just so important, and it is.
Yeah, it's just, you can see definitely times where we fail to communicate at something. That's when it becomes a problem, is we haven't discussed it, or we haven't talked it out, or we're both assuming we're thinking the same thing when we aren't, or assuming, oh, that person's thinking this. That it causes a problem.
Yeah.
It's like, how about we just talk to each other? We are married. We can talk to each other.
We do
Who
a
would have thought?
lot.
Yeah.
I feel like I talk to you a lot
Yeah.
recently too.
I think it's because we go golfing together
Yeah,
a
I
lot
know.
too.
That we
It's
talk
like,
the whole time.
hmm
Sometimes, anyways.
yeah, it gives that opportunity. I think it's good in a relationship to have that time to be able to just discuss with each other.
Devoted.
It doesn't always have to be like going to golf, but like give yourself some time together of like 20 minutes. Like
Right.
anything we need to talk about, like sit down and actually do it. And
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you have to be there fully for 20 minutes. It could be like a 5-minute conversation, but at least space out some time for yourself to have that conversation with your partner. Make sure you're on the same page. Make sure you have everything discussed you want to be discussed.
And I think we do a good job. Like, we're trying to find like a rental car recently, and you texted me while I was at work today, like, hey, I'm looking at rental car stuff, but I don't know, you said XYZ about it, but let's talk about this later, which is, it's super nice to communicate, like, hey, I'm working on this for our relationship and our life, but I want you to just know that later on I want to spend some time to do this. And I think that's really helpful for me because I'm a very big planner, structure, even though I'm trying not to be so much and be more like go with the flow to
and
have.
I'm trying to be more structured. I see those things. See,
I know it's a balance. I know, because I want to have a better quality of life. So I try to be a little bit go flow, but it's helpful for me to be like, okay, like tonight we're gonna get this done, which is great for my like mental checking things off, getting things done. 'Cause that's how I thrive in life, is knowing things are getting completed and done.
You like checklists.
Accomplishment.
Yes.
It's
checklists.
Yeah.
Check the box off and you're happy about it.
Yeah.
It's like your favorite thing.
It is, because like we have XYZ to do, so let's get it done, you know? And it's hard for me to go on Tristan time.
Yeah.
You know?
Where it's like, oh, it'll eventually get done as we pass by.
Yeah, you're too loosey-goosey about it. Like, I need to know, like, okay, tomorrow we're going to get this done. Saturday we're going to get this done. Sunday, our goal. Like, I need goals of, like, when, like, I think this might be our rooted disagreement. I think a lot of times I use, like, okay, Tristan, like, we need to get this done. And I'm like, I need a deadline. Like, tell me when I can check back in with you to see if it's done. And it sounds crazy, but like if I don't be like, okay, you needed to talk to some friends about this wedding we're going to soon, about like the plans and stuff, and I'm like, okay, when, like, let's set a date of when we need to like talk to these people or when we need to get done, because so then my mind can stop thinking about it, because if it's in my head and I'm thinking about it and then I catastrophize that I'm going to forget to think about it and to do it. So, I don't know. I'm crazy mentally. It's fine.
You're doing some hoops right there, that's for sure.
But I guess, like, some things that we still get wrong in disagreements is kind of what we already talked about. I think a lot of the old habits come back. Like, I do forget to stop being negative. I do forget to do X, Y, Z. I think just giving each other grace in those times and communicate.
Yeah, just let them know, like, hey, you're being a booty butthole right now.
Yeah, that's what he calls me. He's like, you're being a booty butthole. And it's true. A lot of times I am a booty butthole.
And then you do a pretty good job when I say that, like, you recognize, like, okay, maybe I am a little grumpy right now.
Yeah. Maybe I'm hangry.
Yeah, that's might be it most of the times.
Yeah.
You're a little hangry and just need some food.
Or I'm just like, oh, I'm just really stressed about this thing and I'm being booty butthole because of it. Or giving each other grace and reminding each other kind of like, hey, you know. And sometimes I do ask Tristan, like, hey, if I'm doing XYZ, like, for instance, if I'm being negative, like, call me out on it. And that's how I, like, started recognizing when I started.
There's been times where I'm like, hey, you're being negative right now. And you're like, no, that's not negative. That's not negative at all. And it's like, talk back to me what you just said. And it'll be some, like, self-deprecating thing. And it's just like, how is that not negative? That's like the definition of negativity.
I don't know. I was just conditioned that was not negative. I don't know. Yeah, I think kindness, grace, laughing about it, you know. You're evolving. We're both evolving as individuals and as a couple. And, you know, we're not perfect. No one's perfect.
No.
I think
we try.
Some people call us a power couple. I'm like, guys, stop calling us a power couple. It's just because we've been together for so long that I think people establish that. And it's like, okay, cool, but like, no, we still argue.
Still make mistakes.
Oh, 100%. We're not perfect.
I still forget things, and then
yep.
you get on my case about it.
And then
I try to do better.
And then I forget things, and I'm like, what the heck, Kelsey? You're not supposed to forget things.
Yeah. You're not supposed to be the forgetful one. What the heck happened?
And I guess, like, for me trying to be prepared all the time and like structured, it doesn't always prevent conflict. Sometimes it makes more conflict. Too much trying to be perfect, too much pressure, and then like letting myself down. Being in a relationship with Tristan has helped me decrease that pressure because you're just kind of like, you're fine, it's fine, everything's fine. And it's like, okay.
Everything will work out. That's my attitude I take to most things. It'll all work out and life will be good. And, we'll fight about something, we'll talk about it eventually, and we'll be better people afterwards for it, right?
Yeah. And fights are definitely a growth point for relationships too, Thinking way back, it's like, yeah, people go through honeymoon phase, and then it's like
everything's perfect and lovely, and it's like, oh, well, these little things will come up, and then suddenly they're not so little anymore once they become daily things, and it's like, okay, let's dial it back, figure it out, see what we can do to improve ourselves to make sure our relationship will work going forward.
Yeah. And no one's, if you're getting into a relationship and thinking you're just getting out of the honeymoon phase and being like, oh my gosh, like, this is not who I thought I was with, or no one's going to be your perfect mold.
I don't know. I think you do a pretty good job.
Oh,
I don't think finding a person in a perfect mold is a good thing. Because how do you improve yourself if you don't find someone that's willing to challenge you to be better?
Yeah.
And that has been my thoughts. Like, you have definitely challenged me to work harder, be more organized, communicate better. It's like, those are things that I feel like I've improved on, being in a relationship with you. And I assume you've picked up things from me, being a little more relaxed. And
relax.
Go with the flow. And positive outlook. Yeah.
That's how I feel. Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good way to put it. Better than what I was trying to think in my head with that.
Well, that wraps up this episode of Contracted and Committed. We hope our travel mishaps and lessons gave you a laugh and maybe even found a little helpful tips in there. The next time you're lost in the middle of a new city or fighting over GPS, just remember this podcast.
Remember, no matter how much you plan, things will never go perfectly. And that's okay. It's the imperfect moments that often turn into the best stories and the most valuable lessons.
Exactly. So whether you're preparing for your next adventure or recovering from a travel fight of your own, take a deep breath and keep moving forward. We're all in this together.
Enjoyed hearing how we balance love and travel healthcare? Hit subscribe, leave a review, and let us know your thoughts. If you know a couple diving into travel healthcare, share this episode with them to help them start their own adventure together.
In our next episode, we're pulling back the curtain on healthcare on the road. We'll talk about the things no one warns you about, insurance confusions, taxes, and the paperwork you have to do while you're constantly on the move. You won't want to miss this.
Catch us every Saturday, alternating between quick mini episodes and full-length convos.
Until next time.
Keep loving.
Keep laughing. And don't forget, keep taking that next step.